Welcome to our session, business strategy session, consciously exposed on the go. Yeah, you got to get some session in while you're on the go, while you're out there. Who we are, I mean, we are a consulting firm. Our specialty is to reframe diversity, equity, inclusion from a global perspective in the business sector. We also advise and help our clients to, enter emerging markets like Africa, the African markets. So yeah, we do a lot of leadership training and coaching. We also do a lot of, improving workplace culture. Um, what's so unique about us? Well, what makes it unique is for us as a consulting firm to integrate art, psychology, and culture, right? Culture strategy. So that's one of our motto. We call it APC, art, psychology, and cultural strategy. What makes it unique is when we look at artistic, the fact that we using creative tool to inspire innovation, address challenges is very important. We use things like poetry, visual arts, storytelling, just to help our audience tap into the emotions, navigate the emotions in the workplace. I think it help build team to be more kind of cohesive because art is an important tool. So yeah, it helps us. You gotta focus on innovation, which help you address challenges. And psychological strategy, we basically, focus on building emotionally intelligence and resilience in the markets, local and global, in a diverse market, in a multicultural society, in multicultural team. I think it's critical to ensure that we are really tap into our emotion, you know. So building emotional intelligence will help you also become more resilient because it allows you to tap into your emotion, to be self-aware of how you show up in the workplace and, what are your trigger in terms like that when you're working in team, because oftentimes, yeah, a lot of conflict can happen. It's part of our human nature, but I think it's very important as professional to ensure that we're looking at leverage leveraging emotionally intelligence for business success and career success as well. And then cultural strategy, I think navigating the global market do require you to develop your cultural intelligence, call it CQ. You got to be able to know where you stand when it comes to connect, interact across border, across culture, crossing barriers. So it's very important to ensure that you have the strategy in place. So that's what makes it unique as a consulting firm. We are revolutionizing management consulting. So our audience are business leaders, entrepreneur, professionals, who are basically seeking to refine their strategy, man. Drive growth, expand into new markets, also improve employee retention. 'Cause let's not forget to look at the organization, institution from an inside and outside perspective. It's very important to ensure that staff and team are just working together and learn how to manage conflict to ensure that we're meeting the deadline and productivity is an all-time high, right? So let's not forget that it all comes down to tap into your mental health as well. So, one of these sessions that we call a consciously exposed on the go, these are sessions are designed to provide leaders with a clear framework. We're talking about create, develop a strategy that align with purpose or goal. Whether you're a seasoned leader or a new leader in the market or you out there thriving, I mean, we constantly changes, man. So I don't care how long you've been in the field. I think all of us learning every day. One of my favorite proverbs is no matter how full the river, it still wants to grow. So we have to continue to learn. So it's good to look at how you create, how you develop strategy that most importantly align with purpose and goal. And second is refine. We always refine. I find myself refining, adjusting a lot of external factor that impact just the quality how we run business, leadership, team, and so on. A lot of factor, a lot of going on around the world, and things are interconnected, right? So it's good to sort of kind of adjust existing strategy for better results. Yeah, you'll be amazed, man. Even the fact that in a city like Boston, where housing is becoming the number one crisis, do impact how people make decisions and run their businesses. Can you imagine? From all levels. That's just an example to say that lot external factors that we have to name. You got to make up your own list. Those factors do impact how people run their business. And that's where you have to adapt. Third is adapt. Navigate changing market dynamic and opportunity. Cultural trends also need to be seen at business value. So a lot of changes. So how do you adapt? That is the question. How do you adapt to changes? It's not easy. Yeah, so session one, we're talking about define the why, your purpose and mission. Define your why, your purpose and mission, or redefine. Never know. You may want to adjust the mission if people are not living out the mission, or maybe the mission is not, I mean, who knows? But you got to define. So your why is the core reason why your business exists or your project exists. It drives your goals, connect with your audience, and inspire your team. So we have to be able to see how through your purpose statement, you got to have a purpose statement that basically talk about um, the reason your business exists. An example here is, for example, a purpose statement to empower businesses to expand globally by leveraging cultural intelligence and innovation. That's an example. That it's very purposeful. We want to expand globally as a company and leverage cultural intelligence and innovation. These are tools that really uh, help us empower our clients so we can, at the end of the day, drive profitability or improve employee retention, the workplace culture, just result as well. We have to look at the holistic way. Key question to consider: what problem are you solving? Why is it this problem important to your target audience? And how does this purpose align with your long-term goal? So it's important to answer this question. So I want to welcome you as part of a homework. Just write a concise purpose statement that reflects your business value. It's very important, and really to continue to address the fact that identify one problem your business solve and why it matters. That's the purpose why you're in business. Well, it depends. People have different value, different purposes. But yeah, it's all about just trying to figure out what is your purpose statement. So that could be one part of your homework. Yeah, session two is basically identifying the who, your target audience. Who's your audience? Your audience is the group of people or organization who benefit from most from your services. Understanding them ensure your strategy are relevant and impactful. Who's your audience? What are the emotion that they're dealing with, right? Who benefit most from your service? Who's the audience that's going to make you money? Who's the audience that's going to make you money? Show me the money. You're in business to make a profit, but also social impact. What are their goals and aspiration? Your audience, the folks you're trying to serve. An example that I put it here: middle market leaders in Boston seeking to expand into African market. So these are leaders, company who perhaps have a annual revenue of 10 billions of dollars and 1 million, but they want to expand into the African markets. So, the audience is the middle market leaders. So if I'm consulting, so these are who my audience is. My goal is to help them expand into Africa, right? So as part of your homework, create one paragraph description of your target audience. List at least 3 key challenges they face and how your business addressed them. Do your homework. Session 3 is define the what, your offering and solution. Your what include the product or services your business offers and how they solve problems for your audience. You're here to solve problems. In a time where it's very challenges, I think you have to put your business hat or creativity innovation hat, view things from economically perspective. You don't have to be an economist, but I think if you think more of a like challenges means opportunity. Challenges mean growth. So I think look at challenges, simplify things. When things are very complex, which they are, we live in a very complex, complicated world. So many events, environment, circumstance do impact how we run business locally and globally. But I think simplify things around, look at challenges, turn into opportunity. So it's good to kind of really name your product, your services. An example, I put a consulting, you can consult people guiding them how to enter the African markets, emerging markets, or provide leadership training and workshop just to to be more inclusive. We live in a time where so many diverse staff in the workplace, so it's good to provide leadership and how to support staff from different cultures, different backgrounds, and so on. Key question to answer is: what problem do your offering solve? How do they create value for your audience? And how they are different from your competitors. Now, we live in a very competitive time. I think from sort of an American perspective, how we run business in the US, how we were taught, whatever school thought of thought, whether you got your MBA, blah, blah, blah. Just to think how we do in America, we are thought to be so competitive. But I like to argue it's not so much about be competitive, it's about your ability to market yourself and offering a different um, product, something unique, have a unique niche. That'll be so different. You stand out in the market. I think the more you focus on your niche, you feed them, you won't worry about competition. I think if anybody do that, because the market is big. That's why I advise people to look at emerging market like Africa, you know, huge continent comprised of 54 countries. And I think the African economy is worth 2.3 trillion, I believe, which means a lot of opportunity across different market, different countries. But anyway, that's another conversation. So your homework is basically write a brief description of your core offering. Identify one unique feature of your solution and why it mattered to your audience. You got to be different. You got to stand out. You know what I'm saying? Why you? If you do marketing, a lot of people do marketing. If you're selling t-shirt, a lot of people selling t-shirt. What's so unique about you or your product or your offering? Session 4, explain the how, your methodology, execution. How are you going to execute? Your how is the process or methodology you use to deliver your solution effectively and consistently. Example here, conduct market research to understand your client need. That's very important. People overlook market research. Save yourself some money and a headache. If you have a business idea or project, or you've been in the market for a long time, or been in business for a long time, sometimes you may want to refine things, right? I understand your client needs. We saw that through COVID. COVID impacted so many industry. It also impact client need, target audience. So it's good to go back, do some market research, man, before you launch your project or your business, or before you out there come up with a new strategy. And use our model, the APC model, to design tailored strategy. And we can dive into that when you partner with us. But basically, our model is artistic, psychological, cultural strategy that we do integrate in our services and our workshop and training. We do integrate arts, poetry, storytelling, visual art, just to first help the workplace team tap into the emotion, but also in business. Part of your branding and marketing include arts. You can use spoken word poetry to really tell a story. Tell your story. I think connect with your audience emotionally. So art is a powerful tool. And psychologically, you can do a lot of psychological assessment. Look at the consumer market, and look at your consumers' behavior, the trend, the mindset of your community, of your target audience. Cultural, yeah, you got to tap into cultural intelligence. Don't overlook cultural nuances. Those cultural trend from fashion and music and so on, and you can turn into business value, right? So deliver solution to workshop, coaching, and consulting. So these are kind of like the process. It's like you got to have a method that you use to deliver your solution. You come up with a solution to your product or to your suffering. The question is, what is the method? How do you ensure that your solution meets your audience need? Your target audience have a lot of need. You got to understand the need. You got to meet their need through your solution to your process. What tool or framework do you use? Like, how do you measure result? How are you going to know it's going to work, right? People do a lot of surveys, but yeah, part of your homework, outline a three-step process for how your business delivers solution. Identify one tool or framework used and its impact. And we can dive in more when you hire us for coaching and elaborate. But session 5 and 6, I think we're talking about branding, marketing, and sales, plus measuring success and adapt. So when we say branding, marketing, and sales, we're talking about branding, building a memorable and cohesive identity. Like you got to be able to tap into your own personality, your value, and you can deliver that through your product or services. Brand yourself. You are your own brand. But what's so unique about your personality that you can intertwine into your brand? Marketing, engaging your audience through campaign and partnership. I think marketing is everything, man. Can you imagine if you hire an entire marketing team and campaign just to promote your brand and increase sell and visibility? Yeah, sell, you got to convert those prospects into long-term clients, you know? And that's what social media is, those platform branding, you know. For example, use storytelling to highlight your impact. You got to tell the story of your audience, of your client, of the emotion. Marketing, you know, you can run targeting ads and so on. The marketing is big, it's huge. Sales offer personalized consultation. We do a lot of free consulting, assessing, and we do a lot of discovery meeting that turn into projects. Yeah, measure success and adapt. How you gonna measure your success? You got to track progress through metrics like revenue growth, kind of see your revenue, how you doing. One thing is important to realize at the end of the year, sometime when you meet with your accounting, I don't know, your tax person, you look at your numbers, all that, you may not done pretty well. Who knows? But then go back to maybe you should have marketed your product more. Maybe you should have been yourself out there more. But as a business owner, a small business, many of us just focus on taking a business and, you know, we live such a tough time that running a team is not easy. Some of us don't have funding and capital to hire a team. And yeah, everything is also about funding and capital, which is the biggest challenge. But I think it's good to kind of have this conversation around branding and marketing and sales because that'll lead to money, right? So how do you create awareness or engagement? How are you going to measure the success of your effort? How do you adapt based on outcome? That's the thing, yeah. How do you adapt, man? A lot of outcome may not be what you thought, what you like, but it's good to develop one branding and marketing and sell initiative to implement. So think about that as part of homework and just come up with three metrics to track success and how you'll collect this data. Surveys is one, you know, social media campaign, check temperature, check if you are successful, if your product are working, and also how you collect data. Data is important. Be data driven, right? Yeah, connect with us. We on social media, Instagram at Consciously Exposed, TikTok Consciously Exposed. Yes, and you have it. This business strategy that we offering folks on the go, consciously exposed on the go. Change the status quo. You've been consciously exposed. Thank you.